I've gathered a list of other hunters asking for help. Also written some notes on the whiteboard if you need them. Got the intel. Looks like this is going to be a tough one. We've had reports of violence, and it looks like they left in a hurry.
Downstairs there. I'm gonna get that. Okay. I'm gonna use this so I can know what to do. I made it set up diesel glasses wrong. I wasn't really mad about it though. The reason why I wouldn't be mad about it is because out the door, okay? Okay, slow down there. It was mad. It sounded like it was mighty close. Yeah, it was fun though, well, it's in theory it should be where the ghost. That's what the ghost says. In theory also does not mean that it's gonna be easy. Yeah, so the one he's talking about, he's already found something. That's gonna be a detective. If I tell you something like that. Jeez, we're off to quickly. Come here. I need to get to it, guys. I can't see. What they was that head cams? You've seen it. I heard something. Something was in the glass. All I heard. I got a feeling it's probably a snake or something. I still don't want those in my house then. Like I said, I still don't want no snake in this house. You know, I don't mind that the infected that he made it so that the spouts have a 0% chance of breaking, but it goes actually on that. So for all I have is favorites. What is that noise? See, the thing is, though, there's so many ways to try to think of it. It'd be kind of stupid here's me Livestream. I mean, Livestream would make them the killer screen. Because then the content have something to go against. Oh, that's cool. So far, I got 2 things. What's the beach crazy in the but you just create image but there's no kiss this. And there's nothing to hide behind. I don't think it's gonna be fusion tips. One thing that I do think would be pretty cool is what some people have talked about. And in my own opinion, that would be pretty cool. Like if it's a kid ghost, it draws a picture. Would it be cool? Yeah. But it also lets you know too though, to know that it's going. So in my opinion, are you here? Where are you?
Behind.
Can you show yourself? Can you show yourself?
Here.
Okay, show yourself.
Yes.
Can you close that door? Can you close this door? Can you close this door? Where are you? Are you friendly? Can you close this door in front of me? That's national, but can you... Thank you for the interaction photo. You are such a kind of ghost on that one. And the video game. Are you feeling dead? That would be a no. That would basically the equivalent of I would do that. And no, that's not bad. But let's look. Okay. If I find anything, you know what? What's my saying? It's a perfect house. So it should not be hunting me. That's a perfect house, you know. Poltergeist. Not that I know that he does that. Okay. Even if it doesn't affect me, it shouldn't really do much. You always have to have both sides of the two different bathrooms. A male and a female. Don't go like this. See, if I would have made this game, I would have made two different sides. I would have made the female side and then the male side. Not for gender. But because in most games with asylums, you would normally have two different sides. Okay. Thank you. For turning the light ghost. Oh, that's power. You are such a mighty fine boost. There's a lot of games with the sounds. So one thing like a game that one shot girl has played on Twitch. See, the one shot girl worked very heavily on YouTube. But she left because of how YouTube was. And the people that moving to YouTube because of those DMCA reasons, it's the most dumbest mistake. Just don't listen to copyright music. Problem solved. The people that's like, oh, I had X amount of viewers on Twitch, so I decided to go to here for DMCA reasons. in my opinion, it is the dumbest thing to do it for. It's like I like the money from there's like people that say, well, I lost money. It's like, of course you lost money. See, the people don't understand something. Claiming you lost money when you move from Twitch to YouTube. That's a given. That's gonna happen. But say, oh, but I like the platform better because of the MTA reason. It's like, here's the problem. And this is what everybody wants to say, well, Amazon owns it. Just because Amazon owns Twitch is not a good reason. I am it is the dumbest reason. It is the dumbest reason possible. That would be like saying, I want to get back at a company for not doing something. Here's the thing. The only way something like that would ever come to fruition is for this to happen. You know, it's not based on, I'm not going to say, do this. Here is my thoughts on it. And people can disagree all they want. This is the only way that it will work. Is to say, hey, if I was to give you X amount of money to help fund it, then they will consider it. They would consider it more if they knew that they could make X amount of money per month. In reality, here's the problem. People wouldn't want to do that. Hey, here's the problem with that. People wouldn't want to do that for this reason. It means you're giving a company money. And people don't look at it like I look at it like this. Amazon does not look at it like we own Twitch. They look at it as Twitch is a subsidiary of Amazon. And subsidiaries have to make X amount of money per month. Per year. They have to, for any type of upgrades, they have to make their own money. And anything that Amazon owns, they have to make money their own things. They cannot make money any other way. So people saying, well, they own this, so it should be this. It's the dumbest excuse ever. Because people know that when a company buys up another company for any reason, they know that they are doing it for monetary value for that area. When a company has net profit for let's say Twitch, that means that when they need servers, they can get servers. Just the way it is. And the people wants to claim that the company should do this. No. It does not work that way. That's like, people want to get, or like, don't buy subs this way is of this reason. Here is the problem. The problem with that is that's also a bad way of looking at it. Because if they can't get, if they don't, let's say they don't have a computer, then they say, well, do it this way. The problem is you are being too piggy. But first of all, they don't want to if they wasn't being charged for taxes for people paying for something like that, it's not that, it's because of the federal government is enforcing it. And if for certain president had his way, no matter what you bought, even a Twitch sub on this platform, and here's the thing, people look at it like the company should be the one paying for it, you know. No company, if a company operated that way, they would go bankrupt so fast. Like what the president's wanting to do with taxing the rich. If he does that, you know what? But the thing is, though, if there's not enough, let me say, middle class right now, they have to raise taxes on it. If they lose anybody in that regard, they have to go up on taxes. Whereas if they was able to do what the president said he's gonna do. But see, the problem is, though, it's a vice president. Back when he was vice president, he had no way of enforcing stuff. Yes, it was added in, and yes, Burger King did this because I was mad at having to pay taxes. So they bought 10 points. They would be there. Stuff like that's gonna happen because they should pay taxes. They should. The way they thought about it was we should at least be in the grandfathered in category. There is no such category when it was added in. Yesterday, would it still owe taxes after the last president was in office? Probably not. But the thing is if the last president would have done it differently, I would have liked what he said more. Instead, he said, as long as you make X amount of money, you don't owe taxes. What? That just makes it so that companies are like, hey, let's not hire people. If you would have been like, as long as you have American workers, you don't owe taxes, that would have been a better solution to it. Because doing it that way means companies are like, hey, just so we don't have to pay for taxes, why don't we do this? And that's the thing about it is, people don't look at it that way. People look at it like this. Well, companies look at it like this. If they can get away with paying taxes, they will. That's all there is to it. If they can get away with not paying taxes, oh, trust me, they are gonna do it. And if they have to be in this one particular category, the fastest way of keeping within that zone is to not have actual employees. But saying that if you do this, you don't pay taxes, that's the dumbest idea. If you make X amount of money over. Yes, it actually, in a way, it does help America on that, but it doesn't help on the hiring process. The hiring process, it makes it hard. In that regard, it makes it harder because more and more companies are willing to do this for this reason. It's a bad reason, but if they can not pay taxes by just having X amount of money in the bank account, to them, it's a win-win. It is to them, it's a win-win situation. Because then they don't have to worry about, hey, we can be, but also doing it the other way is would be more of a lose situation on money, because that would mean that as long as they have American workers, they don't pay taxes. But during the presidency, past president did it, was also a bad thing. Because the thing is, companies would be willing to do it that way to not pay taxes. Because they know that if they have X amount of money in their bank account, hey, we don't owe taxes. So it makes it so that companies are more willing to do certain things to get in that category. And that's the worst thing about it. They do anything they can, including possibly even jacking a rate so high that just to get into that category. But if you would have done it differently, yes, companies wouldn't have been paying taxes because they would have all loved to have been doing that. And that, but of course, that was also before COVID-19 hit. And he did that. Yeah. But even then, even after COVID-19 hit, it would have made the companies think more on in other areas. Like, we need to do this for this reason. interesting thing about this is there's companies like the one big thing that they use though is that companies don't realize something. If you're not hiring people, you're doing one thing in particular. It's like basically a trophy. Because the blast don't let out the come on over here, comes on over there. It's just the way it is though. It's company will do anything they can to stay in the don't pay taxes country. Do you not think even fast food restaurants they were all over the fact that hey, let's not go to baked robots. Because that's a win-win situation. It's not a win-win situation when they see how much money they lose. And they lose so much money that they can't keep it open because nobody can afford to work there. Then that's when, see that's the thing about it. Like, one thing I like about City Skylines, no not City Skylines, but Sim City was the simple fact was that the way that game, if I heard that noise, the way that Sim City was they didn't care how much money they had to pay in taxes. As long, like you can literally, I literally had that game. No residential and no commercial taxes. But there was one thing I did do, and that was, there was commercial taxes and, well, there was business taxes. But that did one thing. That did one thing in particular that industry had the most taxes. No, wait, there wasn't. There was only industrial tax, my bad. Only industrial taxes. But this is every time you click on a building, it is as long as there is sewer, you don't care. If the taxes are like this high, because the thing about this though, yes, even though it trickled down to others, but they didn't care. They didn't care at all. They was just but it's not like it would be most likely in a real world situation. In a real world, they would be like, I'm gonna pay those taxes. That should be. I like the fact that I hit it before it hit the ground. It made the noise of it hitting the ground. And I think my hand. That's kind of funny, actually. But that's just what it is, though. Is that people don't understand that this reason. Like in that game, was they didn't complain about, well, taxes are too high. They didn't care. These are the 3 things that they said was why they didn't care about them. Running water, electricity, and sewers. Nothing a problem. Because it wasn't a problem. But it was, the only thing I was making money off of was the industry. And that's all I was making money off of too, was the industry. The ones that was making stuff. Like the hamburger meat and all that other stuff. That's all the way I was making money is off of the ones that was making everything. It ended up being a win-win situation for me. Because there's like, I don't care if we're paying taxes. As long as we have these 3 things. But then if it ended up being an issue, then they would complain about taxes. But if I heard, but with me, I was always, see the one thing that they did, and the only reason why people said they was having a problem with this, is just so they can change it, and then be like, okay, we're good. It's not really. You're gonna say you have this problem, so they change it, and then you say, oh, you don't like this thing. But people did it because they didn't. Because they didn't really want it. They liked it. See, here's the thing. You have the people that don't say nothing because they like the game. And then you got the people that say, hey, I don't like this. Can you change it? Here's the reason why they probably didn't like it. Because it was more in the real life scenario. Plus, there were some Easter eggs. The Easter eggs were pretty cool, actually. Like you had one that if you have X amount of deaths in one day, not hard. Well, not easy, of course. There was ways of it happening, but it was a hard one to get. Because like if there was too many in one day, it would then, at around night times, cause a zombie apocalypse. And that's actually the way it was designed too, though. Is if there was X amount of deaths, it would cause a zombie apocalypse. The thing about that is yeah, that's pretty cool. But then you had to have the police officers. You wanted to try to keep the number of police officers alive for those scenarios. Because if it was the police officers plus the others, you'd pretty much be dead for it. You'd have to get rid of everything just to have the police station open. That would be interesting, huh? See, to make it in the asylum, it would be cool to have one master switch that turns on all the lights downstairs. And it was in the one area. Yes, that defeats the purpose of it's still a bit cool though. The reason why I said it would, in the game developer's mind, it would defeat the purpose of having limited things. It would have made it so that you could have had the match, you could have had, even though yes, it was still, the way that he has the life, it would have still made your sanity drop. Yeah. The reason why he has areas like that is because, first of all, it makes it so that there will be spots where you will lose your sanity. If you have to go through those areas too many times, you will lose your sanity to the point that it could be hunting. But in my opinion, I think lights should be able to be changed. Especially like at the asylum. If you did allow you to do that, you'd have to get everybody to do it. And there's a lot of in-game. It's just, you can't interact with it. See, in my opinion, some people don't want to go inside because of how he has the lights. I don't mind. What's that? Because if I'm going to be looking everywhere to try to see if I can find anything, this is how I'm going to do it. Legit, this is how I'm going to do it anyways. I got everything from the ghost. There's a wooden ladder. There's a step ladder. There's some purple paint on it. See, like, when I saw the demo of that they have on YouTube of Unreal Engine 5, I'm like, oh, that's pretty badass. Of course I'm going to take it that way. It's really, why not? It was a cool demo. And my brother said, because my brother mentioned another game engine that people would pay to try out. Of course, I've never been a fan of paid sponsorships. Hey, well, try this one out. It allows you to make games from scratch without the need of coding. I mean, not the need of coding, but this is everything we have available to offer you. They have to offer you. Not my cup of tea. in this store. Or how is it? It was. See, what's funny is that in this game, the idea is the. A lot of people say that the phone jack, the phone line's already off. And I can see that. The idea is a ghost is using its power to make it work. In reality, a phone that's not on the one thing is not going to work. But with the ghost using its power, then yes, it can, in that theory, yes, it could cause a phone to move without the need for what would normally allow it to move. But to me, this one would not be really needed to have a light button. It's still cool, I guess, because if the ghost doesn't have any control of the light, just try to stop it sandy from draining. But I'd rather, instead of some of the smaller, like, some of the bigger ones, in my opinion, that's upstairs that the light does not work on. In my opinion, that's what I would have tried to focus all of the lights working on. I get it, the game developer did not want to do that. And it wasn't the fact that the game developer didn't want to do it. The thing is the game developer had other things he wanted. And I would imagine he's probably using a script that picks light steppers. And he probably has a RNG system that's like a randomizer that says, okay. And he probably puts in the perimeter on. I can only have this many lights working. And in that note, and then it chooses which ones. Because I picking it every single one of them. Picking which ones you want to work would not be fun. And let's face it, how would it be fun if you're choosing one summer? Like, small ones like this, you could just walk through it if it don't work. It's not that big of a deal. It's when you go into bigger, like, anyone's this side, you don't have to have it. Even though I think there are some that side that actually do work. Like, when this side, nobody wants to go through with the flashlight when the power's on. Because there are some that sides where the power does not, the light does not working. And in my opinion, those rooms should have been the ones that was focused on working. But the thing is, the game developer can can have it then hit me. Like, I went like this, so it's not needed for a last restore thing. And it's not. The people that say that it is, like when you turn a light like this, and it's this size of a room that has 4 beds in it, yeah. Do I really want to try to see this? To see if it's in this room? A lot of times, rooms like this that don't have a latch, the rooms, they don't really go inside of it. What they do is they just walk in, see if they can see the bed, then walk out. In my opinion, if they're not willing to take their time with flashlight on, then it's not really worth the time of not having that room lit up. And the way that he has this game is like you get the most lights that can come on in the smaller buildings. A little bit less for the less on the medium-sized maps, and even less, I think, on the smaller, on the bigger buildings. So a lot of people look at that in theory of it's not really worth it, in their opinion. Is that loud on? In fact, this is my computer, not randomly as it's on. What's the light actually be on? But like I said, it could be just my computer. Of course it does. The reason why I was looking at this like I said, a room like this, yeah, I don't mind it because I have a flashlight in my hand, so it's stopping my sanity from going down. But the thing about it is though, like when he does make it so that a candle no longer does that, that's when it's going to be really tough for some people. The people that was playing it only because they can get a candle, I think there should be a deal that you can have that every X amount of time, like let's say every 5 hunts, you can use this still to, let's say, zap the ghost. Yep, I knew that was going on something. Like to me though, like if you could have something, at least something, that every X amount of time, you can use to try to help fend it off every now and then, would make the people that don't want to play it to the point of they may actually want to play it. And people don't really understand. Game developers, that's the reason why they have the hardest jobs. Because, well, I guess job is the best way to put it. Because the thing about it is, though, is that people watch a game for this reason, right? So when they can get a game done in this way, they're not willing to just complain about it. But a game that isn't, people are more apt. Like, for example, let's say they want to, let's say, like on Call of Duty, they want to gun nerf like this. They nerf it, then everybody uses it that doesn't play against them, I might add. And then they want to complain about, oh, these people are subscribed to me are using it to their advantage. Then they all say, I'm not doing that. And then they get mad because they find out, oh, it's not people that they see. Here's the thing. You got two different types of people. You got the people that are following this person that never gets killed. But if they do, everybody leaves them. Right? You got those people. Here is the problem with that mentality. With that mentality, you're not helping the streamer. Because like the first time that he loses, people leave, right? So like if they know that they are fixing to lose big time, if they don't make a decision to be like, oh, this is my warm-up game, here's my actual game, when they know they're about to lose. And it really that saying you can only use it once. Because once you say it once, then the kids that are watching you are like, well, you've already used that, so it's not gonna work on me again, but those people, they only should really be, they should only be matched with people that are subscribed to them and will use it to that extent. Then you have subscribers that tries to bring you down a peg. But to bring you down a peg, it also means you're gonna lose a bunch of followers. And here's the thing with that. If then there's a bunch of followers or subscribers, it actually ends up being a negative to them. Because that means no money coming in. And the problem is if they can't find a job because of a specific reason, because they don't know how to do something, but they try to get a job, but they get turned down. It's basically in a category of, it's always a bad idea, in my opinion, to always win. You want to lose some. Because if you're just being a winner every single time, and then the first loss, everybody leaves, it gets into the category of the only way I could have saved this if I losing some. It's still not the sore loser. Those people are more apt to being sore losers. Those people are more apt. They don't want to be known as a loser. Only winners. Like if you put your slogan as always winning, never loses, because you never lost yet. The very first time you lose, that becomes a career ender. And then yes, you could potentially get viewers back, but if you start getting viewers back, you would want to lose some, and not win every single one. Because the first time you go and lose again, people are gonna look at you like, oh, you lost. Okay? Like for me, it was always easy to lose, because like I'll do one good, and then the next one, oh my goodness, I would lose on. So for me, it was actually easy because of it. Because like with me, winning and then losing my next one, because of how I would play it. Like I've had times where I was going easy the second time and still win. And that was because of how bad they were. It's just the way of life. That's just how it could become sometimes. This is it turned on points. I didn't realize that the power was on so good. So enough about it. See, in my opinion, though, that you should never ever just always win. Because the very first loss, you're gonna really find out why they was there. And a lot of percentage of times, you're gonna find out that it's only there because they made winning. My first loss, it was basically a career win. And that's the way it is, though. They get mad over it, but jeez. In my mind, you can't really get mad. Because you should have seen that in the in my mind. You should have seen it. Here's the thing about it. They don't look at it that way. They look at it like, well, you should watch me for this reason, not because I always win. In my first loss, I lost. But that's the thing about it. That's the reason why me personally, I don't always want to win. I've had games where I completely dominated. And that was not the best idea. It wasn't. It was actually the worst idea. But people started leaving me in the team, and I was told by my own buddy, why don't you do this and let us handle it? Okay. But the thing about it is though, is that when you're playing like that, that's when it's the worst. Like, let's say my brother that doesn't play on it for too long plays on it after not playing on it for so long. We could end up in a situation of really good area. Is there a bonus door? I don't know. I know sometimes that you don't find a book, and you know you say after a few hunts, then it shows up. So, I don't know. But to me, it actually becomes it's like if it was hunting, it would know where I was at. It would know 100% where I was at if I was in the hallway. The problem is there's not really much of an indicator of its hunting. It's just that we're just this in your head. We could end up being in a it's hunting situation. And the best thing to do is have a good headphones that can pick up from a good distance if the door closes. Best way. But just wait. See, I wish there was like in each room, especially like in the asylum, when it's so big, to have a hunting indicator, like goes, and then in the long hallways, have one every X amount of spot that it either does one or two things. And in my opinion, this would be the ideal situation. Because then you can know when it's hunting. Currently, you don't know. It could end up being hunting and you don't even know. So in my opinion, the worst case scenario, in any scenario, in my opinion, is you should know when it's hunting. Because when you don't know, that's when it's the worst. Do not know. Because you could end up in a situation of I shouldn't have anything done. No, wait. That took a Just fix this. I can't have it done. Okay, first let me take one second. So I can make sure that I'm not open.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you. check the equipment and get set up before investigating. And remember to check the whiteboard for help.
See, the first camera used to be...
There's been no reports of violence or sightings, but please remain careful.
That used to be the first camera. But the game developer changed it so that one outside is the first camera. Honestly, I don't really mind that though. It does mean to be able to get to that camera. What is that look? So like with this game, it used to be you got a mixture of stuff. Okay, you could end up with the system of Just in case it is one in here, it's a thing. The last time I was in here, it was a fancy. It sold itself way too many times. I literally thought it was a different note. So how many times it sold itself. I legit thought it was a different ghost the first time. Because of how many times it was sold itself. At least not on. It doesn't hunting. I can use this. Oh! That's fun. The light for the cafeteria is on. Intriguing. Not the first time I have on this one. It won't be the last. Yep, I heard that noise. The thing is though, like when this map first came out, if it was above here, you could literally just be in this corner and the ghost would just be stomping above your head. Stomp, 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 stomp. And just all you hear. You can be like you can literally say whatever you want to and it will knock you down. But of course, come to find out one of those times, the ghost didn't actually hear you. The game developer is the one that let people know, hey, you know what's funny? It's not even actually clear. Yeah, oh. Surprise! Good surprise, I guess. I hear it messing with the door. I think it's that door out there. And if it's in this room right here, which is the central command center, which is where the last switch is. Dang it. Hello. What's that door for again? Okay. Just like he doesn't have a camera. Hold up. Hold up, come on. Yep. Perfect. See, the thing with the ghosts that do that, when you walk in there, they're so in their dungeons. And then, in a way, it basically allows you to drop itself. With prison tips is fancy available. Yes. Yes, it is. hold on. What's it bad about this computer? It doesn't matter what, it's just gonna matter. What? See, I know when my computer matters. But that's because I'm paying. See, like, a building like this was to ever have a ghost in it. Show yourself. The problem with this particular building is that you don't have much of a chance. Wow. And see, like, the problem with this game is if you end up staying still when it turns, you can turn off the power. They're gonna do that. Like if you're trying to, let's say you do a live stream mode, I will only go when there's power. When there's power. That means somebody else is there to turn on the power. But once it's on, you can't turn it back on. Because the door won't close. Let's say the person does that. You end up putting yourself in a bad situation because if he turns on another light switch, and they all go to the off position because of it. Like whatever, dude. So I like to have that door open because I can hear it when it goes close. Because to go, either closes it or makes it close because it has a collapse. I know the freezing temperatures are different. Like that one time when I seen that door, it was in the girlfriend. And I thought the whole time it was down here. It was actually upstairs. I realized that just before it started hunting is when I realized it. By that time I didn't have any sandy clothes. Whoa. Oh, that's reflecting in this. chaos. Even if it did mess with that door, it should not have, because it hasn't hunted yet, it should not have anything. Anymore. When I say that certain things should be in certain terms, it's like the fact that the one thing I mentioned for protection should be for if you are in the ward's position and you're about to die. Like if it already hunted and you know you can just walk away and end the hunt, those would not be the times I would choose. It would be the times where you know that you need to use it because you're going to die. Only time you should really use it. In my opinion. See, like, the problem is, it was just, I know it's vision temps, oh, and fingerprints, right to Banshee. EMF 5 or spirit box. Okay. EMF is all, like, anything is always higher unnecessary spirit box. In this game. I want you to EMF. I always see the spirit box very fast. See, like the way that the game developer has made this game is he wants you to boy. Can you give me an EMF reading? Oh my god. See, it is going to this area. That door being slightly open one side. Good. Can you show yourself? So in that fight. Rules advantage. That means at any moment it sees me, it has a 20% chance of hunting. Which is 20% is 20%. See, a lot of times doing this, I hear a lot of noises from I hear banging around and everything. Oh, I'm always hoping. I'm hoping that it's not just somebody else. If there was somebody else, oh my gosh. That would be good. Should I do this? I don't know. Nah.